Hello there, I am Samuel from Imaginary Sword Studios. I help creative projects with business development and I also design board games. You're looking at me using Miro right here, which is a real-time digital whiteboard tool if you're not familiar with it. And I use it all the time in my board game design work. I use it frequently at my regular work, my day job with running workshops, mapping out ideas and strategies and all of that. So when I got into designing board games a couple of years ago, it felt natural to me to use this tool for that as well. And I've continued using it since I find it super duper helpful. I don't think I could live without it in my design work, honestly. Strangely enough, I haven't heard any mention of it being used by other designers when listening to podcasts, reading forums, and so on. And I use it for so many things in my design work, like for theory crafting, when sketching out ideas, for solo playtesting, for creating prototype content, all of that, which I'm going to show you right now. So I'm going to dive into how I do these things, and hopefully you can draw inspiration from it, use it in your own design or development work. So let's go. Okay, so here we are. I'm going to show you components and stuff from a game that's pretty much on the back burner. I would like to revisit the theme, but let's see. So this is all very super work in progress, and that's the way it should be when you're using a whiteboard. So let's look at a board from this game. So it's it's a break-in themed game. This one, you are playing as a thief, breaking into a mansion, stealing stuff, getting out. That was the basic idea behind the game. So this is a player board that I played around with for that game, and of course, all of these components are things that I have sketched out. Everything is movable. And as you see, it's super, super rough, but it's so easy to just say like, okay, I need a track up here. Wait a minute, this track shouldn't go this far. Let's just mark all these and delete it. Let's change the power of this particular thief here. You can do something else for this power, like you just point and clicking at stuff, moving things around, this action, maybe let's move it down here to the area for the actions, which takes up 2 time and stuff like that. Like, it's so easy to just play around so that it really invites your creativity, I think, to move and think, okay, what if I do it this way? What if I do it this way? And it's so quick relative to writing it out in text, sitting in design and doing all of this stuff. This really invites you to sketch it out, try new things and stuff like that. So for a board, it's super helpful. I also use it for cards. These are a couple of cards that I just grabbed from this particular prototype. So if I was sitting here thinking about new cards, I would just mark that up, copy it. Let's say we have a new card here and we are thieves. So let's have a crowbar. And also, of course, maybe I want an icon on this card. I really want people to take a look at a crowbar. And still, of course, this is a prototype, but sometimes you need an icon for dice, for example. So I have icon finder linked here with Miro. So let's just see crowbar. Are there any icons for that? Oh, okay, no. So let's just type tool. Yeah, something like this might do. This is absolutely not a crowbar. So actually, let's just change it right on the spot, wrench. And then we come up with some kind of power for that as well. Okay, I created a new card there. See, super easy and really invites your creativity just to come up with new cards and play around. I also create tokens, like here are a couple of the treasures that you can steal. Let's say I want more treasure, mark all of that, copy it. This one is supposed to be valued at, let's say, this is a new one for 800 whatever currency we have here. It should take up 3 strength to carry it, and you can see I've put an icon here for that treasure just for a little tiny bit of flavor even in this prototype. And this is an icon. You can see here I made a grouping out of several things to create this icon or token for the game. So it's very helpful to sketch out components in this way, I think. Of course, this is just for creating components. Let's say we want to try something out. And now I'm warning you, you're going to take a look at prototype content on this Miro board. So it's not going to be pretty. So here was a board last time I played around with it. Of course, it's super duper rough. But for me, who's designing this game, and I know what all these things are supposed to mean, this is actually really intelligible. So I'm just to get that out there, right? It's intelligible enough to play around with and like try out rules and test ideas. So this is way before I put anything to like print it out and test it on the table. I will just play around with it here. So let's just say that I was happy with my changes to my player board with my new tracks and stuff. Oops, I marked too much. Let's just grab that player board and have it down here. And actually, I'm going to test out playing as two players at the same time, right? So I can see how things interact. So we're going to need a new thief to play with. Let's grab a shape here, like that. We should turn the shape blue because the other one was red. So I think blue should suffice. And we need a new icon for that so we can keep track of. So like, let's just type thief here. Ooh, the anonymous one. Let's go with that. Where did you go? There. So I mark both, I group them, and here we have the icon for our new thief. I will copy that onto the board, and yeah, I'm pretending this is my player token now, and he's going to start in that room. You get a room adjacent to the edge of the board to start with, and this red thief is going to go there. So now it's super easy for me to play around with my new rules. Okay, I'm going to try moving. I just move him around there. I'm going to move the guards and stuff, and these things over here. What was this? Yes, this was for cards that you were supposed to seed in the different rooms. You can see here, this is a level 1 room. It's supposed to be seeded. So I can just copy, and this is the nice thing, you know, you can just copy and create as many of the different components as you would like. And then I usually sit around here and I play stuff out with myself, and then I realize, no, wait, let's say movement is too hard. It's only going to be 1 dice in difficulty. And this power here is actually overpowered, so let's change that. And, you know, I'll just keep playing and moving stuff about. So you can design, play, go back and forth. So let's now say that I'm super happy with the way this player board is right now. And for my next playtest coming up, I'm going to use this one. I will just export this one here. I would just choose save as an image. And oh, now it became hidden behind that box, but that's no worry. I would just move it like this and export it as a JPEG file, and then simply print that out, because I don't have to use any other tool. I would just print that JPEG for my playtest, because I just need this one or a couple of more, depending on how many players I have in the playtest, of course. So as I said on top, for boards, it is super helpful for me to create this prototype content in Mural, Miro. Mural is another whiteboard tool that you can also use, which I also like. So here for cards, I often create prototype cards actually as well here. Let's say I want these 3, they are good for the playtest. This is the way I do it, at least. I would just copy them and put them like so, and now your game designer brain can see what I'm doing here, right? So what I would do is the same way again. I would export this part of the board. I'm not going to mark it out, but you know, mark the cards, export it, and then I go buy InDesign or some other tool like that where I can make the scales fit so that when I print it out, it fits with one of my regular card sizes, so I can sleeve it. Or you could go the easy route. I sometimes do, for example, these tokens, which are non-regular size. I will just create an arc of tokens in here, laminate it, cut it out, and there you go, you have your tokens. So this is the nice thing, I believe, here. You can play with stuff here and then just export it and create your prototype content oftentimes here. So let's zoom out and really shock your eyes with all this content over here. This is the actual board where I worked on this game. And I really love this space. Like, it just grows in different directions and you start writing, and okay, what's over here? Some kind of flow chart where I tried to like math out and play out what would happen in different stages of the game, I guess. Here I have had some action selection table. Yeah, this is a system I've used to map out actions in games, you know. And then you can have all this writing. I think this is, yeah, this is my notes in Swedish then. When playing with the game on the whiteboard, I've had these like design notes here, which so that I don't have to even tab out to another tool or software. I can just write on this whiteboard as well. So that's just a short look at how I use it for this one game, which so far hasn't gone anywhere. But hopefully it can inspire you to try out this tool if you haven't used it. And oh yeah, one more thing, I often keep some kind of creative brief and stuff somewhere on the board so I can return to it and like remember what the hell was I doing with this game again, which if I was to get into this particular design again, I would definitely need to return to that to see what the hell this game was about. Codename Jewels, I can see. So did this give you any inspirations? Please come at me with any type of question. Have you used Mural or Miro, any other tool like this for your board game design? Do you have any tips and tricks? Please share them with me and with other people. And good luck in your game designing with this tool. Bye bye.